obviously great win, extremely hard fought. You know, from beginning to end, I know obviously we had an 18-point lead in the first half, and I think you have all watched enough basketball to know that, you know, 20-point leads in the first half are not anything in the way the game is played with threes and, you know, players' abilities to score. So loved our fight and loved so many contributions from everybody tonight. So again, good team win, big shot obviously by Trey at the end, but a lot of people made a lot of plays.
Hey Coach, just wondering, 7.3 seconds left, what was said in the huddle and kind of the play that you drew up for the team?
Yeah, we knew well. We told them we don't have any more timeouts, so that was important. We had to have a backup if we couldn't get the ball where we wanted to get it to. We had told Trey where to go get it, but we also told him where, again, if you couldn't get it where we told you to get it, which is where he did, then you can break it off and get to a spot. Again, without going into all of that, that was, again, there was where you can, and then an option, and then if we can't at all, what we had to do. Obviously the guys executed great, that was huge. I think one of the things that's so important to notice in a situation like that is the level of calm that Trey has in that to drive the ball hard against arguably their best defender, pump fake, step through, do all the things and keep his composure to make a shot like that. And so, again, I told him all of those things, you know, hey, pump fake, step through and keep your composure. That is a joke, by the way. But that's a great player making a great play. That's really what it is.
And just in terms of the second half in general, I know it was a really back and forth fight, but what did you just see from everyone coming together? I know the big word's been accountability, just kind of everyone holding themselves accountable and coming together to get the win.
See, to me, the word I'll use right now isn't necessarily accountability, but it's, I'm not even sure how to phrase it. More respect for your teammate or what needs to be done. And even though you may not like it, this is best for the team. So, for example, and I'm not saying guys did or didn't like decisions that were made, but a lot of tough decisions were made, meaning Onyeka played, I think, 48 straight minutes for a stretch there. You know, so he comes in, you know, literally may have played 17 straight minutes. And with that, I know he's tired, and I know there's been some situations where, you know, he's had to switch onto the ball, he's had to run from the perimeter to go and rebound, and I kept asking him in the timeouts that we were taking, are you good? Are you good? But his ability to step up and do that, because, you know, everybody they were small out there. Now, they did have stretches where Claxton was out there too, but for the most part, they were small. Bogey had it going. Dre had a tough night in regards to, he gets 2 fouls early. We leave him out there again. He comes in the second half, now he's got 4 and he sat for a while. And so I made a decision where I pulled him out and brought Bogey back. And then I told him, I said, be ready, and we brought him in for defense. So we were kind of rotating offensive, defensive situations. But that's not easy. But it was a read that Bogey's had a good game, so we had to make, again, just went that route. John Collins was going to be limited minutes wise, and we knew that, but we were in a tough situation in terms of they were making a run, and we ended up burning up his minutes earlier than we would have liked to, but he helped us. Like, we ended up having like an 8-point lead, and I'm not sure if that was exactly when he came out, but he helped us go from basically a deficit or tie game to a lead. And so a lot of tough decisions were made, and the guys stood with one another. So again, that's way too long-winded of an answer, but I hope you understand the commitment the team made to one another was really big.
I'm curious, what was John's minutes restriction for today or moving forward?
15, and I went over it. No, I'm kidding. I don't want to get into his minute restriction, the actual number, but I did go over it.
And as far as Trey being the guy that had the ball in his hands in the past, we've seen him be the inbounder with the messaging being that he's the best passer. I'm curious what went into the switch?
Oh, I think there's multiple things that go into when you run an end of game play and you're trying to execute. You know, a lot of times philosophically, people will say the most dangerous person on an out of bounds play is the inbounder. So if Trey's your inbounder, then you're probably right. He's pretty dangerous. But in this particular situation, we knew where we wanted to go, and so obviously it'd be difficult to have him get it, and you got it.
You talked about Bogey having a good game. It seems like he's got his legs back after a break. What are you seeing from him, and what does that sort of give you when he's at full capacity?
His confidence is high. When he is at full capacity, obviously another threat out there. A great IQ player. There are plays that he makes. There's plays that we call and plays that he makes. And from a coaching perspective, you're always wanting, it's not about the play we run, it's about the play we make. So when he's at his highest, he's really helping the collective IQ of the team, just with how cerebral he is. And then plain and simple, just make shots. He makes shots. And you know, and then on the other end of the floor, he's, you know, he can defend his position, and you know, the biggest thing is he allows that we can switch and do the things that we do with him. But again, on the other end of the floor, he knows his job.
Even with John having a minutes restriction tonight, how did you feel that he played overall? I mean, had a nice alley-oop and different things tonight.
Yeah, that's, you know, you think about the lob that Trey threw him. Actually, it was a weird play from the standpoint of they blew the whistle, and I guess they just did it to, I thought there was a foul on the play. Now, meaning I thought because they blew the whistle there was a foul on the play, not because I thought there was a foul on the play. But he went up and got it, and I thought from my perspective, like you worry about rust. Like we talked about that the other day. Here you have a guy that's now been out not only as long as everybody else, but one or another game as well. So I was really pleased with how well he played. You know, shot, you know, 3. I think early in the game, you could tell that he was trying to find his rhythm, like real early. And so out of the first time out, we ran a play that we felt could help him with that. So overall, a positive, but I know he'll continue to move in the right direction, you know, just being his first game back.
With Brooklyn and their threes, obviously, like they were 1 for 11 for a stretch there to start off, and then are able to hit 14 in the game. Was that just they were getting good looks early on, they weren't falling, or did something change for them in that second half?
No, I think there was a combination of things. Some of it was just one-on-one step back, shoot a 3. Some of it was penetration and kick, like the one at the end of the game. They drive the ball middle, and you know, maybe more help than we needed. Don't need to go into all of that as much as they kick it out. So the drive and kick, you know, the step back individual defense, and when you look, again, the stat sheet tells part of the story. Both teams only have, with the amount of points that were scored, both teams only have 20 assists because there's a lot of people going and making plays off of switching, and so there always isn't the kick out. But I think their threes come from, in certain situations, from where they normally get them.
Any final questions? Thanks, Joe.
Thanks.
Thanks, Coach.